All right, guys, another tackle rigging tip for you. We're gonna rig up what we call a drop shot. So if you've never used a drop shot, besides throwing a wacky rig, it is probably one of the best fish catching machines, as far as catching, smaller fish all the way up to larger fish. So I'm gonna show you how to rig up a drop shot. All right, so we're gonna rig up a drop shot. I have some line here. This is actually braided line, so hopefully you can see it a little bit better. But usually with drop shot, you're gonna use anywhere from 6 to 10 pounds. Um, Usually a fluorocarbon fishing line. But for the purpose of this, I'm gonna use this braid. So, uh, drop shot, what you're gonna need is a drop shot weight, and you can use tungsten or lead. You can use a cylinder weight or like a teardrop. You need a hook, which I use actually the same hook for my wacky rig as I do my drop shot, and that's usually this octopus number 4, I want to say, or number 2 style hook. And you're going to need a bait, and lately these have been coming one of my favorite ones to use, besides using the Riot Bait synth. But if I want a more minnow looking approach, I grab this this Berkley Pro Series twitch tail. I actually found it in the walleye section. It's not even in the bass section. This is a really good bait for the drop shot. So we're gonna tie this up, and I'll show you how to do it. All right, so I actually switched to this yellow line, which might be a little harder to see, but that other one was 60-pound braid and it wouldn't fit through the eyelid of the hook. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie a Palomar knot. So if you haven't, you don't know what a Palomar knot is, I have a video that shows you how to tie the Palomar knot. So check that out. But we're gonna tie a Palomar knot. And then what we are going to do, and what your goal to do on the Palomar, is to leave a tag end, a really large tag end. Longer the better, because you can always trim it. Okay, so if this line here was going to the rod, this is the line tag end off the end of it. Then we'll take that loose tag end that's hanging out the bottom, and we're actually going to go through the eyelid one more time. And what that does when you pull that down is it makes the hook point stand straight up, so that way it's not upside down. Okay, next we're going to take that cylinder weight, and let's say this is the length that I want it. I'm just going to tie it onto the end of it. So with that, you have this little clasp. We're going to put the line through the clasp, snug it up in the clasp, and then I also like to tie an overhand over the top of it. Just one though. So essentially this here is what they call a drop shot, where the weight is sitting on the bottom and your bait is sitting on top. And it allows you to fish in the same location without actually pulling that bait away, and allows you to stay in the strike zone longer. So next, we're going to take that Berkley twitch tail, and we're just going to nose hook it, kind of like if we were minnow fishing. We're just going to nose hook it right through the top, just like that. Okay, so now when your bait's sitting there twitching, it'll actually twitch straight out, because the plastic is going to try to float a little bit, and it's going to sit and twitch, and this weight's going to sit at the bottom. And you're going to get a lot of strikes. You're going to get a lot of smaller fish that'll bite, And but you can also catch some big ones. I've caught some of my biggest ones so far on the drop shot. So
like and subscribe, and make sure that you turn on the notification button.